All right, hey gang, Nate Bear here, lead technical tactician for Monument Traders Alliance and trade of the day. And in this week's video, I've got a long, I've got a short, and let's take a look at the indexes. Okay, so let's dive right in. I know everybody will be shocked that we are starting with analysis of the indexes. I'm going to hide these drawings because it just gets a little cumbersome. But what we're looking at here, gang, and I'm going to just give you a high level. This weekly squeeze this week, look at this. This dot is going from red to black. It is trying to fire short. If nothing changes this week and this squeeze fires short, the long case, in my opinion, into the end of the year is in very, very, very serious jeopardy. Unless something incredible happens or changes, or Apple comes out and says we're taking over the world and their stock is up 20%, or, you know, Powell comes out and says, hey, guess what? I'm going to start cutting rates next week. We're in trouble. Not we're in trouble, but the long side of the market, the idea of a Santa Claus rally is definitely in jeopardy. Okay, so keep an eye on that. From a daily perspective, we had a sort of a weak low volume bounce yesterday. I completely expect that we are going to go roll over and take out the lows here. You know, from a weekly perspective, again, you don't often close, and it's actually easier to see in the SPY. Let me hide these drawings. You don't actually very often close here at the low of a weekly candle like that, and then just reverse the other way, get a gap higher and go like that without like substantial news, which didn't happen. It was just a low volume bounce yesterday. All right, so here we go. My favorite short chart is actually right here at NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA is going to crack 400, and not just a little bit, but a lot. They have more news coming out about the restrictions of what they can sell to China. The news is that these restrictions are going to take place immediately as opposed to being delayed. They were going to try and rush some orders out before the middle of November. That is no longer an option. So the stock is I think, going to be in under a lot of pressure today. You've got the 60-minute squeeze here where we've come down, we've consolidated, we're starting to build up a squeeze. I think the momentum rolls over, and I think we get a crack underneath 400. The other chart that I really, really like here, my favorite long, is actually Microsoft, and that is based on, there you go. Timing is everything, and the market just opened. But I believe that Microsoft here with this weekly chart is absolutely perfect. It's a perfect long. So what I'd like to do on Microsoft, if we pull back into about $330, is that I would like to go out into Microsoft and probably go out into either, ideally really probably December, but go over into Microsoft, into the December monthly calls, and just start looking at some out of the money calls, like the 350s perhaps in Microsoft, to try and play that weekly squeeze. All right, so that's my play. That's my long. The short in NVIDIA is, I think, a crack under 400 is coming, and we will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching, and have a good one. Later.